Hey, I think we're live. I'm pretty sure that we're live. It's awesome to be here. Hey guys, if you can hear us and see us, say hello. Let us know that you can hear us and see us. So I got some comments coming in. Teresa says yes. Barbara says yes. Hey, yes. Maria says hello, hello. We got lots of hellos coming in here. Awesome, fans, fantastic. Robert Clancy. Hey, Robert, all good here. Nice for you to join us. Great stuff. Hello. Rena, Michael, so many people here with us today. Let's do this. Woohoo! Susan, hey, Susan says hi. Hey, Petrit says hi. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. So appreciate it. Listen, tell everybody, I want to know where everybody's from. So let us know where you are, where you're from around the world. It's always one of my favorite things to see where you're all coming from. Hey guys, by the way, I see some of you. Okay, we've got Portland, New York, Tennessee, I'm sorry, Alaska, British Columbia, North Dakota, New York, Oklahoma, Greece, North Carolina, dude, the Faroe Islands, Indiana. Awesome, fantastic. Listen, some of you guys are making comments in the Q&A, please. Don't make comments in the Q&A. Please make comments in the general chat box for everybody to see. This way we can actually see. I'm gonna read the comments in the general chat box. So keep your comments and questions in the general chat box. That's where I'm gonna be reading from. Don't use the Q&A section for tonight. All right. Wow, we've got some California, Indiana. Wow, so many people here. Also, Petrit, you're sending me a private message, which is fine. But if you want everybody to see, you could send it in the general chat. It's nice where you'll see at the bottom where it says send all. So if you want to send me a private message, that's fine. But if you want to, participate with the whole community, which I encourage, put it inside the general box. Make sure where it says send to, it says all. Amy Fournier in Alberta. Hey, thanks so much for being here. Amy, Nina says hi. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for being here. We've got a wonderful community here of people. So let's get started. Emily, you ready to rock?
Yeah, let's do this, Coach Nick. I'm ready to rock.
Awesome, fantastic. All right, guys, we're gonna have a lot of fun here tonight. So first and foremost, I just want to say welcome so much to this training event, how to increase your psychic abilities. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm sure it's gonna be an uplifting experience. I got the fire out here, and police. I live in the downtown core, and I swear, if I have to run, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. So that's you're all my witness. I didn't do it. Should be all right. All right, cool. So once again, welcome everybody so much to our training tonight. We so appreciate you being here. Your time is valuable, and so we're going to respect your time. We're going to be an hour tonight, and we're going to give you everything we got. These guys are still coming through here, so. All right, we hope everybody's safe. Sending love.
Yeah,
love and light
to
to
whatever's
everybody.
going on out there.
Whatever's going on. It's a lot of fire trucks passing by, so hopefully everybody's safe and doing all right. So once again, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We so appreciate it. We're totally going to make sure that it's worth your time. Have some water with you. Maybe have a pen and paper with you. Take some notes. I'm going to be participating. Emily's going to be taking us through this training tonight and really going to be showing you some really cool stuff. Now, first of all, if you are new to the Akashic Academy, I just want to say, thank you so much for trusting us in your spiritual process. The Akashic Academy is a place for people who want to make their spiritual life or their spiritual growth a priority. Many people talk about growing spiritually and wanting to feel connected and wanting to learn how to live joyful and experience what it really means to live inside of this human body. There's so many cool things that come with this human body. We all have like these fancy devices and iPhones, and we kind of think, oh, this is such cool technology. But the reality is you are living and housed in the coolest technology on this planet, right? So to learn how to use this technology, I think it's just a wonderful process, and the Akashic Academy is the place where you come to really explore what the potential of this technology is. And as you learn to use the potential of this technology, you're then able to translate that into real life results, really practical results. Whether that's you want to increase your income, maybe you're looking to grow a business or serve people, you're looking to, attract the right person to your life, or really, have deep and meaningful relationships. You want to get your health on track, whatever it is, whatever goals that you have in your life, things that you want to be able to do both materially and spiritually. The key is to learning how to use this, because if you think about it, your entire experience is happening in here. It's not happening out there. It may feel that way, but that's the illusion, right? That's called Maya illusion. It means you feel like it's happening out here, but in reality, it's happening in here. So when you learn how to use this to its fullest potential, then you're able to create such a joyful experience for yourself, and you're able to do some cool stuff out here too, which is really cool. So our vision at the Akashic Academy is to play our role, and it's a big role in creating the new earth. We're talking about creating a conscious society, people who want to join the conscious movement, who want to escape from the matrix of the old paradigm, the corporate world, the old government structures, the old institutions that tend to keep us enslaved and keep us trapped in old ways of thinking of limitation, thinking of lack, thinking of division. The new world is a world where we're creating a world of oneness, where we embrace diversity within community, where we see the abundance, the love, and the potential in everything. And so this Akashic Academy, what you're here part of, is creating the new world here and now, right here, right now, us together, exploring what it means to be human, is us doing it right here and now. And so just by you being here, you are part of that movement. And we have massive plan. Right now, there's infrastructure being built. If you're not part of the Akashic Academy page, we've got show hosts that are we've created a network where we've got tremendous amounts of people sharing wisdom and knowledge. There's so much happening behind the scenes to support this movement. And we have serious plans of hitting not hundreds, not thousands, but millions. Millions of people, I declare it here and now, that millions of people will be coming into the Academy and being part of this movement. And there's a place for every single one of you who see the vision that we see, who want to be part of the greater movement. This isn't about me, and this isn't about Emily, and this is about you, but this is about creating a new earth for all 7 billion human beings, plus the animals, plus the plants, and extending that into the cosmos. It's a wonderful time. It's a transformative time, and I'm just so appreciative that you're here. Now, to do this, we have to learn to be present. We can't create in the now. Remember, you're not creating in the future, and you can't create in the past. You can only create now. And how you create is you got to be here in the now and present in the now. So I'm going to ask you to be present with us, turn off your social media apps, turn off the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram or whatever you're on. Take the cell phone, put it on silent, turn it off, get rid of it. Just allow yourself, shut down everything. Allow yourself to be here inside of this training so that you get the most of it. Why be here and then be flipping through other things and missing the training? I know it's very easy in this world to get distracted, but I'm asking you that if you really want to create something new for yourself and you really want an awesome experience, then you got to be here with us, body, mind, and spirit. So do your best. Turn off the distractions, turn everything off, and stay present with us. Say yes if you're committed to staying present with us right here, right now, and participate. I'm not asking you to say yes for us. I'm asking you to say yes for you. So Chris says yes, Teresa says yes, Nancy says yes, Bridget says yes, Robert says yes, awesome, Tiffany, Rhonda, Janelle, Kimberly, Barbara, Amy, Kelly. Sorry, guys, it's flashing.
Yes.
Yes. It's awesome. Rhea, Ann, awesome. Guys, it's flashing so much on the screen. Lori, hey, Lori, my friend. Lori, please leave your messages and comments in the chat box, not in the Q&A. So you'll see the chat box, you'll see the Q&A. Please leave it in the chat box because that's what we'll be reading from. But thank you guys, everybody, for your commitment. Awesome. So here we go. We're going to get started. But before we get started, I do want to share a couple personal stories so that you can see how does this training actually benefit you in like day-to-day life? How does it benefit you in, everyday life? Because it may seem sometimes esoteric. And of course, we're going to be talking about, hey, Lori says found it. Awesome. Thanks, Lori. It may seem like, out there concepts. But I want to show you practically how this applies in your everyday life when you learn to use this vehicle, this technology, this body that you've been given to its fullest potential. So I've got a couple stories. I've got 3 specific stories, and they're really quick, and they're personal stories because I find the best way to share is by sharing personal stories and saying, hey, look, this is how it's worked for me, and this is how I know it can work for you. So the first one was, so I've been running, I'm a coach and trainer inside the Akashic Academy. The Academy is also part of the Freedompreneurs Club, and the Freedompreneurs Club is part of the Academy. They're one of the same thing. The Freedompreneurs Club serves as the business division within inside the Akashic Academy. And so inside of the Freedompreneurs Club, I've got a program where it's a 90-day sales acceleration program, and I've been teaching it for some time. It's got tremendous results for people. And I was thinking, you know what? I really want to increase my income with what I'm doing, but I don't want to work more. I want to increase my income, but I don't want to work more. And so I was kind of playing with different ideas. And so one morning I was doing my mantras. I practice an ancient art called Bhakti Yoga. I do lots of mantra meditation. And when I get into my mantras, I really get into that theta state, that very silent state. And that's where I can really, connect and hear different things. And I got this quick flash, this quick message that said, raise your price. Charge $2,500 now for your program. I was charging $1,200, so just over double. Said, raise your price, do it. Old Nick would have been like, oh, I don't know. I really want to help people. I want to make sure that I'm available for people, da, da, da. But new Nick said, okay, I obey. Will do. Next person that I talked to, I got on a call. Next person that I talked to, they said, I want to do your program. How much is it? I said, it's $2,500. And bam, they paid me $2,500 and got started in my program. This is a very practical way that we can use our body and our extrasensory perceptions to be able to receive messages from the infinite on what to do and guide you. So that's one practical story that you can use to be able to create more income in your life. A second story is as part of my Bhakti Yoga process, we make this dish called khichdi. It's an Ayurvedic dish. And I do this program called Bhakti Yoga 101 where I go into yoga studios and I do this 2-hour workshop. It's a really fun workshop. And I was going to get the lentils to make the khichdi. So I thought I got this knowingness that said, go to the Corn Crib. The Corn Crib is a natural food store where I live, but the regular supermarket is closer. And I kind of thought, oh, no, I'm just going to go to the supermarket and just grab it. And so I was like, I don't want to do that, right? And so I walk everywhere, right, generally. So I was walking to the supermarket, and then I got that knowingness again, go to the Corn Crib. So I was like, fine, I'm going to go to the Corn Crib. It was a little further, a little more inconvenient, but I trusted. So I said, fine, I'm going to go to the Corn Crib. So I went down to the Corn Crib. I got my lentils, and while I was checking out for the lentils, I got into a conversation with the young girl that was working at the cash register, and she got very interested in Bhakti Yoga, in spirituality, and we ended up having a conversation where they just finished at her store saying, we really want to do workshops, but we're really not sure like what workshops and such we could put on. And I said, well, that's interesting because I actually put on a workshop that would be perfect for your store. It's called Bhakti Yoga 101. She gave me the manager's number, and now I've got an opportunity to do a workshop at their store. So as you can see, this is another practical way. So one, how to increase your income. It helped me do that. It helps you lead to opportunities and the right relationships when you know how to tap in and follow what you're being guided to do. And I'll give you a quick last story, and this one just happened today, so I just thought I'd just add it in quickly. So I saw that my brother called me and I missed his call. And right away, I had a knowingness that he had some news. And I knew what the news was. His wife is pregnant. My sister-in-law is pregnant with their second baby. I knew right away. So I thought I would have a little fun with him. So I called him back and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh, nothing much. By the way, congratulations. Before he said anything, I said, by the way, congratulations. And he said, oh, man, who told you? I said, nobody told me. I absolutely know, though. You guys are pregnant again. He says, yeah, we're pregnant again, blah, 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 blah. I laughed. I said, don't you know I'm psychic? Don't you know I explore the world of the unseen? And he laughed and said, yeah, man, I follow all of your he reads all my morning inspirations and stuff like that. So I got a great little fun with it, with my brother. So you can have a little fun with these abilities as well. So I just share those stories not to say, hey, look at me. No, I just want to show you what is possible for you, right? Say, look, if I can do this, and I can learn how to do this, so can you. The truth is, I've always had these natural abilities, and maybe you can relate. Maybe you're thinking, yeah, I know I can do this. I know that I get nudges and intuitions. We all do. It's just that growing up, we cut them off. We sort of cut it off. We chalk it up to either woo-woo, or we start to ignore it, or let our little voices and skepticism override. And I did that for many years. But as I reignited the spiritual process, and as the divine mind led me to Emily, and I've been in her energy, I realized my own psychic abilities and intuition is really being heightened. And because of that, I've been able to see practical results in my life. And that's what I want for you. So I'm going to turn this over to Emily. I want everybody to say yes if you're excited for this training, because Emily is about to lead us in the training that's going to help you open yourself up and really create something special. So Teresa says yes, Tigger says yes, Barbara says yes, Lori says yes, Rena says yes, awesome, Michael says yes. So many yeses coming in, guys. Amy, Rhonda, Kimberly, Nina, Dallas, Nancy, thank you so much. Chris, Brigitte, awesome. Thank you guys so much. Mona, wonderful. Robert, thank you guys so much. So appreciate your participation. So guys, without further ado, please give a warm welcome, a big virtual round of applause to the founder and the director here at the Akashic Academy, Miss Emily Harrison. I hand it over to you, Emily.
Thank you so much, my partner and dear friend, Coach Nick. Of course, I have enjoyed every single minute of working with you, just as you've experienced an increase in your own psychic abilities hanging out with me. I've increased a momentum in my business, which is this vision that you're helping me build, that we have many of our hosts here at the Akashic Academy helping us build, because it's not just a vision that was given to me. It's coming through me like it's coming through so many more of you guys out there. And this really is an opportunity to shift the planet by learning what this mechanism does. It's really, really cool. And I can identify as well, when I was a kid, like I had a bit of an inkling of knowing that I was intuitive, and that there was some, like some little piece of me kind of hoped and wished that I was maybe psychic. Yeah, I wasn't seeing things like appear in my room, and I wasn't experiencing the kind of things, like when we think psychic, many of us think like Long Island Medium, or, these shows that are on TV right now where people are having these really profound and crazy extreme experiences. That wasn't my experience. And what makes that cool, that it's not my experience, but it's starting to become my experience, is that I'm recognizing these are muscles that we can train, and we can get better at doing this. And when we come together, that's one of the ways, one of the things that I'm going to talk about tonight is how do you create an environment where you allow this growth to happen? One of the ways that we do it is by coming together in community with other people who are doing it. So regardless of if you want to be psychic, or if you want to create a business sharing your spiritual gifts and abilities, or you just want to become a better mom, or you want to become a better dad, or there's something that you want to grow in your life, find the people who are doing that and become a part of that community of the people who are doing that together. Because this is real, and we are going to break it down tonight. I'm going to break it down for you in a way that makes it very easy to practice as well. If you want abs, how hard is it to go to the gym and start doing the sit-ups? It's not that hard. It takes dedication, which is one of the things that we're going to talk about, but it's not rocket science. It's not something that requires more than what you are or what you have or what you're doing here on the planet. It just takes some awareness and some simple shifts in your life. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys is, regardless of whether you're paying attention or you're tuning in to the upgraded level of your intuition, it's happening anyway. It's happening bigger than you. It's happening on a cosmic scale. So just to give you a quick breakdown of what's going on, and this will probably take you back to your science classes from elementary school. So you know that that the universe is in constant expansion and we're in constant motion as well. So our solar system, while the moon's going around the earth and the earth is going around the sun and we're all in this giant spin of a dance with each other, the solar system is also in a revolutionary aspect moving around the galaxy. And the Mayans were the amazing ancient civilization who really understood from a cosmic perspective how our solar system was proceeding through the equinoxes and how they broke it down. So what's happening right now in the cosmos is we are aligning to galactic center. We are moving through an area of the cosmos where we are being bombarded by light. And light carries information. Okay, everything is energy. You've heard that before. This glass, even though it seems very dense, this is energy. It's all energy. And similar to the way that we think of sound as a particular energy that stores and transfers knowledge back and forth between us, light particles actually do the same thing. So every single human being on this planet is being subject to these same photons of light that are coming in, and they're waking us up. These are light codes. They carry information. They are waking up dormant DNA inside of us. So regardless of whether you think that you're actually doing something to make this happen or not, you're not. It's happening on a planetary scale. That will help you take out the attachment to the outcome of feeling like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I not doing it right? Let all of that go. It's happening whether you're doing anything or not. Now, this is very similar to gardening. There are certain things that we can do to create an environment for that seedling to grow and to have the most success possible. And I'm going to talk about those things. But on a bigger scale, all you really got to do is get out of your own way. You've got to stop feeling like this is devil worship or scary, right? I grew up totally Southern Baptist. How many of you guys grew up in an environment where these kind of attributes or abilities were kind of shunned? You know, Nick talked about that happens for a lot of different reasons, but religion is a big reason why, because these kind of things have been like, oh, no. You can't be, you can't have that kind of magical knowing, because people didn't necessarily understand it. And sometimes when we don't understand, we become afraid. Well, let me just get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and let that go. Now, not that Jesus was the only one who came here on this planet to show us an example of moving into these higher levels of consciousness. Of course, we've got many of them, but I grew up very Southern Baptist, so that was my most relevant experience was Jesus. And Jesus said, the least among you can do all that I have done and more. Jesus was out there performing miracles. He was raising people from the dead. He was multiplying the loaves. He was all up in people's psychic business, right? He came to show us different aspects of what it means to step into our multidimensional self. Christ consciousness refers to activating all the DNA inside of your body. And when those subdimensional layers of DNA have become active in you, so do these subdimensional layers of our reality, these skills that we're going to be talking about today. Now, I'm going to talk about the 4 major psychic senses, but do you know how many senses the ancient Egyptians were using besides their physical senses? Nick, do you have a guess? Have you heard this statistic before?
I can't remember the number, but I know that I think it was like, I'm going to guess and say like 108, just because that's a wonderful number.
It's a wonderful number, 360. Which, when you think about the degrees of a circle, it really helps you understand, like, they had perception all the way around them, right? So this is something that everybody is capable of doing. Let's talk quickly about the conditions that you can create in your life to help facilitate a more powerful growth process for you. Okay, I liken this to gardening. The seed is going to be growing regardless of what we do, but there are things that we can do to actually help this process along, right? So meditation is so, so important. It doesn't matter quite so much about what kind of meditation you do. I know Nick likes to chant. I like to do, Steve Nobel is a personal friend of mine, and also I find his meditations very moving to me. Some people like to do different kinds of sound meditation. Some people like to walk. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit very stoic on a mountain in a Tai Chi position. Or, I mean, there are certain things that we do mudras that we hold our hands in these positions that help things. Doesn't matter so much what you subscribe to. It matters that you're dedicated to the process. Okay, it matters that you find what works for you and that you stay consistent with doing that. And here's the reason why. Because when we meditate, Nick mentioned the idea of moving into theta brainwaves earlier. The brainwaves that are happening in our everyday life, the monkey mind, where the majority of us spend the most of our time, guys, these brainwaves will screw you. You got to learn to control these things that are going on. I'm going to share with you more statistics, and if you guys have been hanging out with me, you've likely heard these before, but it's so powerful. This blew my mind when I recognized that this was what's going on in the average human mind. So on average, on a daily basis, you're having between 12 and 60,000 thoughts per day. Roughly 90% of those thoughts are negative. I know, let it sink in. About 80% of those thoughts are the same thoughts you had yesterday. So you're on a hamster wheel, guys. You're continuing to think the same bull over and over and over again. 90 to 95% of those, roughly, are subconscious. You don't even realize that you're thinking them. That's why it's so important that we learn to shut that down and move into these higher realms of consciousness, these higher realms of brainwaves that are much more sustaining to our joy and our happiness and our peace and our health, for that matter. So that's why it's very important, even if it's a walk out in nature. You know, I call nature my church. Dallas, my friend who is here today too, he calls nature his church. My friend Jessica back in California, we used to go hiking and we'd go to church every day. And this is part of my ritualistic practice, to be in those higher states of consciousness, to shut down the monkey mind. Your food choices are very important. Okay. I don't stick to any particular kind of diet. I definitely feed my body what my body wants to eat. And sometimes that's sweets and sugar. Sometimes it's a beer even. I don't drink a whole lot of beer anymore. But if I want to have a drink or a glass of wine, there's no protocol that says you can't do this. Now, I know it's important to Nick not to drink alcohol in his life. And he has more strict dietary restrictions. Nick doesn't eat meat in his life. I'm not saying that one thing is right or wrong, but the food choices that you bring into your body, I can guarantee you when I choose to have a beer, it's shifting my vibration. It might make me feel happier in that moment, but there are things that are happening on the subtle levels of my consciousness that dull me in ways, which is why I don't particularly love to do it anymore. But if I want one, I go have one. So you don't have to be super strict, but have awareness that when you are bringing food into your body that is processed, you are not going to be allowing your body to do what it can naturally do to the maximum capacity that it can do it. When you bring a lot of food that has a lot of life force energy, which is raw food, fruits and vegetables into your body, you're bringing more of that chi energy, that life force energy into your body. And that's what is going to really fuel these energetic shifts that are happening. So be conscious, be aware of what it is that you're putting into your body. Be joyful. You can't have success in the law of attraction. It's just not possible. We are here on this planet to be joyful. And if you're not experiencing joy in your life, you got to shift that really fast. You got to learn to let go of the stresses and choose. It's quite often it's just a choice. And we've become so programmed based on those statistics of the brain that I shared with you. You can see why it's so hard to be joyful if you've got that stuff running in your life all of the time. It is a requirement of moving into higher realms of consciousness to be connected with spirit, to find your joy. So you owe it to yourself to be in that state of joy in your life. Loving yourself. My gosh, this society is epidemic with self-hatred, and it shows everywhere we look. Why do you think people are, give yourself a big old hug, Nick. Why do you think we're at war? Why do you think we're constantly, disputing? It all comes down to being in a space of self-love. And as a society, we're learning more how to do that. There was a point in time that I believe on this planet when we were living a more enlightened existence, when more people were in their heart space. Right now, our consciousness as a whole is hanging up here in the brain, going through that hamster wheel of statistics that I shared with you. You got to learn to love yourself and drop back into that heart space. And so much will naturally shift when you learn to really get down to business with loving yourself and what that means. My husband gave me a book, Real Love, that I just read the first 2 chapters of last night. And I'm like, holy cow, this is already changing everything. So I invite you to figure out what that means for you on a deeper level. Of learning to love yourself, because it's a really big topic. We could do a whole nother webinar, a whole nother training just on what that means. Learning to trust yourself and believing that this is possible. If you are still somebody who is tuned into that part of your mind that says, oh no, I don't know this about me. Is this real? You got to let that go. You got to be willing to get out there and trust that this is true. It is happening. It is something that you can do. Okay. Self-doubt will take you down faster than, I don't even know faster than what. I think it was my student Tig, who's here tonight, who talked about the I am statement is either the most powerful statement or the most destructive one, whatever it is that you say about yourself. And if you fill in that I am statement with self-doubt, you can guarantee that you're going to continue to spiral down into a place where you don't really want to be. Okay, so we're going to talk now about the 4 major psychic senses. And granted, there are more than these. As we learned from the ancient Egyptians, there are about 360 of them to be exact. Mm-hmm. And I'm still in my process of learning and growing as well. So I don't know what all 360 of them are. But I can tell you that the 4 that I'm going to share with you today are ones that have really become much stronger, a much stronger presence in my own life. We have the 4 major clairs, clairvoyance, which is clear inner vision. It has to do with the inner component of the outward sense of seeing. It can be an inner sense of seeing, whether it's pictures in your mind or like a movie plays out. Or Nick, you actually used some key words when you were sharing your personal stories that can help us begin to figure out which one that we're the best at. Because I do want you to, I want to invite you to figure out where your strong suit is when we're going through this. As you begin to work in these realms, naturally all of your senses are going to be stronger. But I want you to really figure out what your strongest one is so you can really play in that area where you're good. So Nick mentioned getting a flash in his mind. Okay, if anything that you describe when you're sharing your story of a psychic experience that happened to you has a visual aspect to it, that's an indication that clairvoyance is a strong component for you. Okay, we have clairaudience, which is clear inner hearing. That can mean that you hear inside of your mind. It can also, sometimes if you are humming a tune inside of your mind that just pops into your head, these are different examples of clairaudience. We have clairsentience. Nick, actually it was claircognizance that you said. Clairsentience is a clear feeling about something, when you just get a feeling. And you use this one with your brother. You said, I had a feeling that that's what it was that he was going to share with me. If you get a feeling or a hunch, that's an indication that clairsentience or clear inner feeling is one of your strong suits. It can also come in the goosebumps or the tingles that come down your arms. Okay, there's
my strong one.
That's your strong one. And then there's claircognizance, which is clear knowing. And that's the one that when you mentioned that you just had this knowing to go to the natural health food store. And now you're like, oh, wait, I'm good at that one. Oh, no, I'm good at that one. I'm good at that one.
Sorry. Yeah. And actually the clearing knowing is generally, actually that, because I thought that's what you meant by because I get the tingles and the goosebumps, but the knowingness, I always feel like I just know. I can't tell you. I just know.
And here's the one question that I'm going to ask you guys. I'm not going to ask you which one do you think that you're the best at, because people, when you ask somebody what they're good at so many times, or where they feel like they fit in, we start to evaluate ourselves in a way, and it's just like you can get all up in there confused. So release what you think you're good at, and let me ask you this: What do you like? What inspires you? Are you an artsy kind of person? Do you like visual things? Are you drawn to great photography or great paintings? That's an indication that clairvoyance is very strong for you. Also, if you have very powerful dream time, indication that clairvoyance is your strength. Are you somebody who loves music? If you're a music lover, that's an indication that clairaudience or clear hearing is going to be a strong one for you. Are you somebody who's touchy-feely? Do you like romantic movies because they make you feel all happy and in love? If you're somebody who gets ignited by your feelings, if you are a very passionate person, you can see just by the way I talk and I get all going, I'm a very passionate person. That's an indication that clairsentience is a strong one for you. And are you an intellect? Are you a bookworm? Do you like to read? Do you like to learn information? That can be an indication that claircognizance or clear knowing is a strong one for you. And it's not necessary to pick just one, because I saw a comment fly up here that says, I really feel drawn to all of them. My experience has been through the space of the Akashic Records, which is where I consider my expertise, that all of my senses are beginning to come to the forefront, and I use them all in kind of an orchestra fashion together, in a symphony together. So sometimes I'm hearing, sometimes I'm knowing, sometimes I'm feeling, sometimes I'm seeing. And as you begin to work more and more with this energy, it will become less important to figure out what is what, but we're in the beginning stages. We're learning the beginning stages of math right now. So we want to understand the properties of these different ones so that we can practice and get better at each one of them. So I'm going to ask you guys, if you haven't already put there in the chat where you feel like you're the most drawn, like what you like the most, share with us what is the most powerful one for you. So Nick, after that breakdown, are you still sticking with claircognizance? Is that where you feel like you're going to be like, yeah, I'm claircognizant?
Yeah. I definitely feel like that I've been tapping into some of those other clairs, but definitely knowingness is there for me, where I just have a knowingness. Oh yeah, that's right, or oh yeah, no, go here, go there. And again, the more that I actually embrace, the more that over the last few years, as my meditation has gotten deeper and deeper and deeper, the more that I hear that. Clear, or I feel that, or have that sense of knowingness as a like, it's more predominant than even sometimes the little voice now. And that's where I find the shift is coming, where it's becoming a little bit more predominant, where it's like, I trust that more than this. Right. And that's where I find that it's really, really accelerated. So I would say that clear knowing, or the clear cognizant is the word, is definitely my strong suit, with some of the other ones starting to really come into play too.
With a little side dish of this one and a little side dish of that one. Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to start with clairvoyance, and I'm going to show you guys some really simple exercises. But let's all do these together, because, by the way, happy new moon. This is the powerful eclipse energy. New moon, of course, is time when we really start to manifest what it is that we want to create in our life. We set intentions, we plant seeds. So this is a great time to come together in sacred ceremony and work on manifesting our skills as our clairs begin to really come to the forefront in our life. So thank you guys for just taking this time out in this little sacred ceremony here together. Let's do a little bit of breath work and a little meditation to just really start to shift those brain waves that we're all in. We're just going to do some quick work to get plugged in, to get really stable here in these higher frequencies of energy. And then I'm going to share with you guys exercises that you can do to really start strengthening each one of these muscles depending on which area you want to work with. All right. So let's all synchronize our breath and just get in that rhythm together. Everybody, nice deep breath in. And a nice slow exhale. I like to exhale out my mouth. Do what feels comfortable to you. Honor what feels like the right thing for you. Nice deep breath in. And exhaling. One more nice deep breath in. And with this exhale, I want you to imagine a column of light that runs up and down your spine. Exhaling and sending that column of light like roots of a tree all the way down into crystalline core center of Mother Earth. And just as we're imagining this, we're using our inner mind to picture that happening. You're strengthening your clairvoyance, okay? Just by picturing that happening. and sending that column of light deep into crystalline core center of Mother Earth. You've heard the term grounding before. It's very important that we learn to stay stable and grounded here on the planet, to have strong connection with Mother Earth. Mother Earth is here to support and to love us. So we want to anchor deep into that energy. And then I want you to, again, imagine, using that imagination, that inner vision, see that column of light moving all the way up, out the top of your head, send it all the way up through the atmosphere, passing the moon, the sun, passing our solar system and our Milky Way galaxy, the other galaxies in our universe. Allow yourself to come up to that invisible force field between the physical universe and the ether. And then just take one more nice deep breath. And anchoring that column of light into that space of the Akash. Akash is a Sanskrit word that means ether. And ether is primordial energy. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it God. You can call it source. Whatever makes sense to you. The language isn't as important as the feeling, okay? So we're going to play with our clairsentience, our clear feeling here a little bit. When you're ready, I want you to open up that column and just allow that source energy to come spiraling down that column. And tune your awareness. See if you can feel as it begins to come into your subtle light body, spiraling all the way down. Do you notice any tingling in your head? And it's okay if you don't. It depends on how much we've worked with activating our subtle light bodies, how much we'll feel this. But whether you feel it or not, it's still happening. You're still expanding your clairsentience by allowing yourself to tune into that feeling, okay? And then I just want everybody to drop into your heart space. It's as simple as putting your hand over your heart and just tap in the heart, setting the intention to allow that consciousness to drop into your heart space there. Good job. And with one more nice deep breath, I'm going to go ahead and open my eyes so I can see you guys see Coach Nick here while I'm talking. If you want to keep your eyes closed, whatever feels comfortable for you, we're going to go into the clairvoyant exercise, the exercise to really strengthen our inner vision. And again, this requires the use of your imagination. So I want you to close your eyes and we're going to envision the number 3. Okay, because three is a number that really has to do with us stepping into our psychic senses and our psychic abilities. All right, and I want you to picture a giant red bubble letter number 3. And see how specific we've gotten with that? We want bubble letters. We want a specific color. And I want you to imagine that and hold all of your consciousness, all of your attention on that visual. And just focusing all of your attention, holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Okay, and then we can do that again. Let your consciousness go on that complete focus of that giant bubble red number 3, holding that there in your consciousness, in your awareness, focusing all of your attention on it. It's almost like we're at the gym, right? And we're squeezing our muscles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Okay? And one more time. Focusing hard, squeezing those muscles, seeing that number 3, holding it, all of your attention focused on it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, when Spirit is trying to use your clairvoyance to communicate with you, you're going to notice that you're going to get these flashes of imagery inside of your mind. They're going to seem to come from nowhere, just like Coach Nick described them. Okay, it's not. You're going to recognize that this is not something that I'm generating with my own energy, with my own thought processes. It becomes a subtle difference between understanding, am I thinking this or is this popping into my head? But as you get better at this, you will begin to notice that difference. So I want to bring your awareness to understanding that when Spirit is communicating with us using our psychic senses, using our clairs, using this awesome technology that happens here inside of this body, it's going to feel like it just kind of flashes and it comes into your mind. So bring your awareness to starting to detect the difference between, is this something that I'm thinking or is this something that has just popped in? Okay, we're gonna work with clairaudience now. One way that you can really work with your clairaudience is just sing. And singing does a lot of things for you. It clears out the throat chakra. It uplifts your energy in a lot of different ways. It also increases your clairaudience. We are not going to start singing here together today. Okay. That is one thing in my life that I have not been very good at. And I took singing lessons for a while, but just to get better, but it's been a long time since I was in those lessons. So we're not going to sing today, but there are other exercises we can do. And that is imagining, again, using the imagination, but we're going to imagine sound this time instead of visual. Okay. Imagining sound inside of our head. So I want you to close your eyes again, go back into that deep space. And I want you to imagine that you hear birds chirping and recreate that sound of birds chirping. Okay. Just tuning all of your awareness to that chirping. I'm going to be quiet so you can hear the birds chirping. Good job. Okay, let's switch the sound now. I want you to hear a creek flowing. Hear that creek flowing. And now switch the sound one more time. Hear the breeze blowing, the subtle nature of the breeze blowing over your ears. Good job. Now, when Spirit is trying to talk to you using your clairaudience, again, many times it'll be a song that just pops into your head out of nowhere. You're like, why am I singing that song? That can be Spirit coming in to talk to you through your clairvoyance. There's a message in those lyrics for you. You might notice a particular voice. Many times, our loved ones who have crossed over will use clairaudience to speak with us because we recognize their voice. You recognize the tonality and the quality of who that person is speaking to you. It becomes undeniable. Oh yeah, that's the voice of my grandma. I noticed that. So many times your loved ones who have crossed will use their own voice that you're familiar with inside of your mind. So that is one way that you can know that that is a message that's coming in. If you actually hear Granny's voice talking to you in there, take a moment, stop, tune in, talk back. You don't have to necessarily say it out loud, but use telepathic communication. Talk back to Granny in your head when you notice that coming in. A really powerful way that you can grow any of these psychic senses is to honor it when it's coming in. Don't deny it. Don't shove it down. When you notice it, give it awareness. Give it your attention. Say, I noticed that. Even if it's just oh yeah, I did notice that. The more you acknowledge, the more that this is going to pick up in intensity for you in terms of your levels of growth. Okay, so we're going to do clairsentience next, which is clear inner feeling. All right. What is it called when you can smell a family member who has passed? That is called, let's see, there's clear smelling. It probably has to do with the word olfactory, just to answer your question, Chris. Clear olfactoriness. No, I just made that up. It is really, that is a very powerful one. Many times people will smell like a cigar or sage burning or something. And that is one that's coming more to the forefront for many people. It's not one that I'm going to be talking about here today. There's also clairgoustience, which is a clear taste in your mouth as well, which is another one that I'm not going to be talking about here today. But if you notice that all of a sudden you're like, why do I taste chocolate in my mouth? Maybe your cousin who passed away, you guys used to eat chocolate bars together, and that is an indication that that person is coming to you to bring a message through to you. Okay, so now we're going to work with clairsentience. Many of you guys have experienced getting goosebumps or your hair standing on end. This is an example of the physical aspect of our clear feeling. We're going to work with some more inner aspects of that, but I do want you to notice that when you feel those truth indicators or whatever you want to call them, stop, pay attention to those, because that is, again, Spirit trying to communicate a message to you. Even if it's, for me, generally, it's a message of confirming whatever it is. Like if I'm going through the process of trying to think of a new way to do something and I get a really good idea, then I'll get to the goosebumps that go down me. It's like a confirmation for me. As you become more adept to using these things and developing your own language back and forth with Spirit, you'll know what it means for you. It might mean for you, get the heck away from that situation, right? So you really have to begin to pay attention to what it means for you. All right, because we're all having different individual experiences. So you must really honor what's going on in your own experience. So we're going to call up feelings inside of our body right now. Okay. Clairsalience is smelling. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Thank you very much, Blair, for sharing that. That is, so it's not clair olfactoriness. It actually has another name. See, I told you, I'm still learning. We're all still learning in this space here together. So we want to use this time now to call up some feelings inside of our body, okay? So I want you just to close your eyes, and I want you to allow yourself to feel and go back to a time when you felt the most overwhelming joy that you could ever remember experiencing in your life, and just like call that up. And just feel that, maintain that inside of your body. This is actually when you actually allow your body to feel that and stay in that vibration for like extending it, like we're squeezing those muscles like we did before, you're increasing your capacity to hold joy in your life. So this exercise has twofold benefits for you. Good job. Kind of let that go, and let's switch up our feelings a little bit. Allow yourself to feel nervous. When was the time when you felt the most nervous? Call up that feeling. Good job. All right, let's let that go. Let that one go. Let's clear it out. Let's pick one more. I want you to remember when you felt the most exhausted in your life, the most exhausted that you ever felt. And call that feeling up. Don't fall asleep on me while you're calling it up. But go ahead and let yourself practice. Good job. Go ahead and let that go. Take a nice deep breath. Oxygenate your blood and your body. Let's wake everybody back up here. If you notice that you are moving along your day and all of a sudden just an overwhelming feeling comes over you, that's an invitation to pay attention to whatever that feeling is happening, because that is a way that Spirit, again, can communicate with you using your clear inner feeling. Now we're going to talk about claircognizance, or that clear knowing, which can be more difficult to practice than the other ones. Okay, many times, how many of you guys out there have ever experienced a download, or the instant knowing of information that you have not studied before? Rhea says yes. Dallas says yes. Nick's raising his hand. Yes. Got yeses, 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 yeses. Awesome. This is an example of your claircognizance. Okay. The best way to develop the experience of getting downloads is to ask for them and learn to quiet your mind and allow information to come in. And this really has powerful ramifications in so many areas of your life. I know for me, when I was creating the course and teaching people how to read the records, it was really important for me to get a lot of information very quickly. So what I really had to do was learn to clear my mind, all right, so that the information can come in big loads. Can be difficult to learn how to clear your mind. So I just want to go over a practical way that when you are sitting down and creating time to have that clear experience in your mind and thoughts come up, one really cool way that I learned to allow those thoughts to come but not attach to them and keep thinking them is to put them in a bubble, like a helium balloon when they come in, and then just allow that balloon to float away. And see if you can gradually increase the amount of time you give yourself to just sit in silence. Okay, I find that's the most difficult way to meditate for me. So when I don't require myself to do it for really long extended periods of time, but I'll give myself little short chunks of where I practice just letting the mind be quiet. And I promise you're going to get better at it. But as you sit and give yourself with 1 minute and then build to 2 minutes, then build to 3 minutes. And as you're sitting in that space of silence and quietness in your mind, when thoughts come up, and they will, you put them in the helium balloon, and you just let them go. Okay, and let them float away. And as you get better at this, again, has many, many positive ramifications in your life, because you learn not to attach to your thoughts. You learn that not every thought has to be a thought that you have to that you have to like hang on to and keep going, because one thought generally leads to another. When you begin to really study the way the brain works, it's called mapping inside of the brain. And if you have a thought that triggers a particular emotion or a particular response, such as anxiety, that thought has already made a map through the different synapses in your brain. And if you allow that thought to be one that keeps going on, it's going to take you down this trail in your mind that has already been established. I learned from Swami, who's been a great face here recently at the Akashic Academy, that we can use that same idea in the opposite way. We can create new neural pathways for joy, but we have to train that experience to happen. So you really have to learn to allow those negative thoughts or thoughts that are coming up to go, so that you can regain control of what's going on up here inside of your mind. So I hope you guys found those exercises helpful. Again, they're super practical. They're very easy. And I invite you to do these every single day in your life if this is something that you really want to get better at. We've got yeses and thank yous coming in. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Again, one of the biggest ways that you can really increase your spiritual growth and development, whether we're talking specifically about psychic senses or not, is to be in a community of people who are doing it. Nick shared of just hanging out with me. He's been exploring more of these aspects of himself. And my girlfriend's back in California. I'm making new friends here in my new space where I am. But the girlfriends that I was really connected with would all begin to notice, like, wow, I'm becoming more psychic. And they weren't necessarily woo-woo before. And it's not anything that I'm doing. It's hanging out in the space of people who are open and exploring these kind of things. So Nick is going to share with you guys, if you are excited about plugging into this community, what you can do to join us inside the Akashic Academy. Yes, Janelle says, awesome. We naturally activate others too. That, yes, we do.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much once again for that great training. And it's clear that so many people are getting so much value from it. Beth just had a quick question. Can we revisit a replay of this information? Yeah, absolutely you can. There will be a replay sent out to everybody by tomorrow. So, guys, you will get a replay to be able to do that. So fantastic. Kelly Ritchie says, can we share? Absolutely. We love sharing here. So guys, I want to just invite you. If you are not part of the Akashic Academy, I really want to extend out an invitation to you formally and say, we'd love for you to join us inside the Akashic Academy. If you got value out of today and you think that now is the time for you to continue to explore, again, this technology and what is available for you in this world and through this body, then I'm going to invite you to join us inside the Akashic Academy. The Akashic Academy, we offer 10 workshops every single month. So I do every single Mondays, and all of these are recorded. So even if you don't make it live, you're able to watch the recordings, which many of our Academy members do. So every single Monday, I actually teach a mindful living workshop. We talk about very earthly things like money, like well-being, like health, like food, relationships. And this is going to enable you to be more present in your life, to become an avid meditator, which is going to allow you then as a foundation, as Emily shared with us, to expand into some of these other realms of consciousness and reach and touch higher dimensions of your own self. So mindful living is a wonderful workshop that we can do together to really give you a basis of presence in your own life so that you can begin to bring that joyful feeling to every single day life. Joy is naturally who you are. So if you're not feeling joyful, it's not, oh, how do I become joyful? It's, why am I not feeling joy, and how do I get back to the essence of who I am? And that's about coming back into the present moment and being mindful. Emily then, and every single Wednesday, runs an intuitive development workshop. So very similar to what you just experienced here today. Every single Wednesday, you can plug in with Emily, chakra activations, light body activations, different intuitive abilities and exercises that you can do every single week to, again, improve your psychic abilities and improve your connection to your higher self and to beings and to a light that is available for you. So it's a wonderful workshop. And then we've got new moon and full moon ceremony. So actually tomorrow I'm leading the new moon ceremony inside of the Akashic Academy. So we're going to be able to plant some new intentions into the fertile soil of the new moon. And then every full moon, we're able to let go. And it's a wonderful process of syncing yourself up with the cosmos. If I'm the micro and the cosmos is the macro, who's going to win in that battle? Clearly, the macro is going to win. Our job as the micro is to align ourselves with the rhythms of the cosmos, the ebb and flow of the cosmos. And through our new moon and full moon ceremonies, you're actually aligning yourself up with the rhythm of the cosmos so that you can use it and go with the flow of life. So if you're thinking, yes, this is something I want to be a part of, I want to be part of that creating the new earth, I want to explore my spirituality, and I want to make my spirituality a priority. If you want to make this a priority, then you got to invest in it. You got to invest some money, you got to invest some time, you got to invest some energy and show your commitment to it. Now, financially, if you're wondering, well, okay, how much is it to join the academy? It's $11.11 per month, or it's $100 to buy a year membership. So you have two options. So here's what you want to do. Right away, just go to your emails. I just put the email into the chat box, askyourrecords@gmail.com. Just send us a quick email that says, I want to register in the title. And then in the body, just tell us, would you like to join at a monthly rate at $11.11 to try it out? Or are you in and you want to save yourself some money? Because if you pay for the year, you save yourself just over $30 for the year on the membership. And we will send you a PayPal invoice and connect with you to join. So you could be in as quick as this weekend and joining with us and the rest of the community. I think we're at 60, 65 members right now, maybe more. I'm not sure. We're at more. We're growing incredibly at a fast rate. And this is just the beginning, guys. Like I said, there's infrastructure being built right now, which is going to allow a whole online community and platform where, plus you get access to our magazines and so many other cool little events that we're going to be doing as the months and years go on. So once again, send your email to askyourrecords@gmail.com. In the title, just say, yes, I want to register. Rhea says, yes, it's truly amazing. One of our Academy members. And of course, you can just let us know, would you like to pay for an annual membership and sign up for a year, save yourself a few dollars, or would you like to come in and try it out at $11.11, whatever works for you. Thank you guys so much. If you do have some questions, Emily, do you want to stick around and answer some questions? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you do...
We want to honor your time. We said that we would be here for an hour.
That's
so
right.
If you have things that you need to go do, please, by all means, go connect with your families. If you have some questions, we'd love to answer some questions for you guys. So we will hang out for a little bit here. And any questions you guys have, let it rip.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there were some questions that came through during the broadcast that we didn't get to. So now is your opportunity. We'll hang out for a little bit here. Dallas says, yes, can we do this again? Yeah, absolutely. You know what, Dallas? Actually, we're going to be doing more webinars. We're committed to doing more trainings. And to be truthful, guys, the Academy is just getting started. The fact that we have, close to 70 members now, and people going through Emily's, our Ask to Learn to Read Your Records course. It's a wonderful thing. People once you're inside the Academy, there's ways that you can learn to read your records and really dive further into the Akashic space. So it's a great place to explore and truly make your spirituality your priority, which is what it's all about. The only way we're going to create the new earth is if each of us, remember, you are part of the earth. So you have to be the change. You have to do it, right? Because when you do it, you give permission for everybody else to do it. So thank you so much. Tigger says, reading the records is truly life-changing. Michael says, love the webinar, Emily and Nick. Thank you so much. Rhea says, that's next on my list, learning to read my Akashic records. Awesome. Janelle says, the tip on the third eye about stimulating to activate it would be helpful for others, and also where to focus it when intending to activate. That is amazing. Powerful teaching. So good at teaching us. Kimberly says, thank you so much. Love, light, and blessings for all. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So again, if you guys have any questions, I know some people are exiting off the webinar. Again, officially we are done. So, just have a good night, but we will stick around for a few minutes just in case anybody does have any questions. I'm going to take a giant sip out of my
I'll take a giant sip too.
My man sippy cup here. Tigger says you both did great. Love you both. Thank you so much, Tigger.
Thank you, Tigger.
Kathy says, inside the Akashic Academy has members from all over the world. Yes, we do. We're a global movement, a global organization. Nina says, thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Janelle says, happy new mooning, guys. Thank you so much. Rhea says, thank you, and new moon blessings. Kelly says, happy new moon. Thank you. Janelle says, blessings. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Awesome. It doesn't look like it. Can you post a recap of the Clairs in the Academy? I want more, Dallas says. So,
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure. So thank you so much. All right. Doesn't look like there's any questions coming in, which is fantastic. Please reach out to us, guys, if you do have any questions that come up in the future. And for all the new people who've decided that, yes, now is the time to get started in the Academy, I just want to formally welcome you to the Academy. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Good night.